After completely grenading the engine of our Jetta, just 1 week before our race against Gears and Gasoline, Paul and I were left scrambling to find a solution. We were able to find this worn-out S4 with 215,000 miles on it. The car was basically undrivable due to some pretty severe transmission issues.
Would be.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
In addition to that, a completely worn-out suspension, graffiti damage, and as we later found out, timing chain noise. And now with 3 days left and about $1,300 to spend, we have a couple more things to do to put our Audi in the best possible position to win. And big thanks to Advanced Auto Parts for sponsoring this entire series. This is the conclusion of our $5,000 quarter-mile challenge between a JDM car and a European car. Okay, so we got our transmission pretty good, not great. Hopefully enough to run 1, maybe 2 runs down the drag strip. We actually have some more modifications to make though. We had the ECM tuned for a dual pulley setup. We're gonna replace the crankshaft pulley and the supercharger pulley to get more power out of our car. In order to replace both of those pulleys though, we have to put the car in service position, which means front end comes forward to access especially the lower pulley. Now I'm actually gonna loosen the bolts for the crank pulley before taking the serpentine belts off. This will put a little bit of tension on the crank pulley so that we can loosen our bolts. Once they're all loose, we'll go ahead and take off the belt that drives the supercharger. Then for the back serpentine belt, we really only need to detension it. You don't have to take it all the way off. Here is our new lower pulley that we're going to install. As you can see, quite a bit bigger than the pulley that we took off the car. Not only that, I'm curious to see a weight difference between the two. So we're gonna weigh these. This is the performance pulley that's going on. 5.035 pounds. And this guy, oh my gosh, feels twice as heavy. 3 pounds heavier. So not only are we dropping 3 pounds, that's 3 pounds of rotating mass. So that alone should be pretty good upgrade. Now, if we're going back together with it, we're going to take our new crank pulley and install it. This one came with new bolts, and I'm going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on the bolts and run them in. Once they're all started, I'll go ahead and put the serpentine belt back on, and that'll allow me to tighten these down. So in order to swap out the supercharger pulley for a smaller one, there's actually a tool that you need in order to press off that pulley. This is not really a serviceable part as far as Audi's concerned, so there's plenty of aftermarket companies that make this tool that mounts onto the pulley so you can press it off. Of course, you gotta be careful that you don't mess up the nose end of the supercharger. Now, in order to get the new pulley on, you really do need to get the new pulley nice and hot. This is definitely a step you need to take extra special care. Don't rush, but also you have to work fast to make sure that the shaft doesn't warm up or the pulley doesn't cool off too fast and then it doesn't go on. Now that the pulley's on and the new serpentine belt's on, we can go ahead and get the core support bolted back up and put our bumper cover back on. Something else that we're gonna be installing is this adjustable air spring. This is basically a bladder that you can inflate, and what it does is it goes into the coil spring and prevents squatting down. So in our case, when we launch the car, it's gonna drop the back end down. And in order to maintain a little bit better traction, we are going to put these in. So hopefully this will help us get a little bit of traction. Now the Audi, unlike the Jetta, actually have 60% rear power, 40% front power, where the Jetta was just a front wheel drive car. So I think the need for this kind of thing on the Audi is much less, but it's still kind of cool. And I had them. Also, someone pointed out that, Charles, you could have just bought like a $5 football and shoved it in there and inflated it, and it would have basically done the same thing. I didn't even think about that. So, okay, so I got our drag bags all installed, the hosing all routed and everything and attached. There's a hose from the left side and the right side. It goes to a T, and then that hose comes into the car with our little fitting on there, so we can actually put air in both bags. Now, I started with 30 PSI according to what the instructions say. Maybe we'll make a trackside adjustment on that. Hopefully it helps. If it doesn't, well, we haven't really lost anything other than a handful of minutes of installing. All right, tomorrow is race day. All we can do now is drop as much weight as possible and hope for the best. I'm sure there's people that have like 1,000 questions about what the heck we're even doing with this thing. Why didn't we just fix the Jetta?
Well,
Also, the seat is very heavy.
oh yeah, I expect it to be extremely heavy. I would offer help, but I really don't care to help you.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
I think time is probably of the biggest concern. Timing, we only had
Oh, geez, is this hooked to the seat?
Yeah.
What?
5 to 7 days, I think. How many days did we have from when
We had
we broke?
1 week since you looked at me.
So
like
we only
that
had
song.
one Bare Naked Ladies week. Since time was a concern, we didn't think we were going to get a used engine in time.
So do you feel like maybe we cheated and like we ended up getting to upgrade the car in a way that, like, I don't know. The folks at home are like, that's cheating.
I feel like we got lucky and we're gonna win.
Win with an asterisk, like we did performance-enhancing drugs and won a hitting competition.
Everybody prefers sports with steroids, all right? So let's just be honest.
Just carry it, Charles. Doesn't help that I put it on this little rolly thing all stupid. I weigh probably 150 pounds. Oh God. We'll call that 75 pounds. I can hear the heartbreak as we pile up these parts, where it's like, dude, that's such a nice piece. And it's like, yeah, but it's really not. Like, it's really not as nice as it should be. This is how you know it's super fast.
That's how you know.
Safety cage.
Safety seatbelt. Seatbelt safety cage.
So far, we've shed about 400 pounds out of the Audi. There's probably still a good amount of weight we can pull. However, at this point, it's a bit of a diminishing return on value. Next up, we have to do the most race car of all race car things, add our stickers. This will give us a clear advantage over the boys at Gears and Gasoline. Remember that each sticker adds approximately 5 horsepower. We also have a custom sticker designed by my daughter, so in addition to being supercharged, we're running on mermaid power. Now that that's done, it's time to do a little bit of minor cleanup, then we can load up our S4 on the trailer and head out to the track. Oh my.
Bro, that tab is officially broken now.
All right, we are here. It is finally the day for all that heartache and headache and broken GLI parts.
Now we find out if our last minute audible is gonna be enough to actually make it happen.
So the car is as ready as it's gonna be. I'm pumped, I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Are you more nervous about us breaking or not winning?
More not winning. I'm not super worried about it breaking. I think they're more worried about their car breaking.
They are definitely. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. We still gotta see what the heck kind of car they have. I mean, I can see what kind of car they have. We need to know how many Hector spoons are under the hood of that Honda. So let's go check it out. After a tour of our competition's car, this is what we're up against. An 89 Honda Civic hatchback with a B16 non-VTEC engine swap. And on top of that, it's turbocharged. They spent $3,500 on the car, and the rest of the budget seemed to be making some repairs and focusing on safety. We also know they have a limited slip differential, much better tires than we do, and from what I understand, one of the best mods on these cars, traction bars. They're also coming in with a huge power to weight ratio advantage. Their car dynoed at 325 horsepower to the wheels, and it only weighs about 2,000 pounds. So we saw their car. More horsepower than I expected, but it's going to be a close race. So, hey, do you guys want to see my car?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Obviously, we had the issue with the GLI. It didn't like the 100 shot of nitrous. This is actually a 2010 Audi S4, V6 supercharged, all-wheel drive, DSG tune, ECM tune, dual pulley setup, so new crank pulley, new supercharger pulley. This hot air intake is actually one I bought for the GLI that we hodgepodged on there, and I have the drag bags that I bought for the GLI. I actually have about $800 left of my budget.
Well, you're going to need that $800 when you need to rebuild this thing again.
No, $800 is not going to cut it when I need to rebuild this thing again.
Audi. That $800 doesn't put a dent in it.
We haven't dynoed it just because we didn't have time. These mods are estimated for just under 500 to the crank. Estimated, yeah, for sure. We got more power, but we got a whole bunch more weight. We're also running on all-season tires, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It does have launch controls.
So here's how I see it going, Charlie. It's going to be, you're going to just leave me. I'm going to try and figure out what gear I'm in, basically. Just blow the tires off for the first 3,000 feet.
Yep.
And then try and reel you in.
I think at the end of the track, it's going to be very close. So we're going to drop the tire pressures down to right about 22 PSI. I'm not sure that's optimum, but we want to lower the pressure down. Also, once we get out onto the track, it's hot over there, so our tire pressures are going to come up because of the temperature coming up. So we're going to start at 22. Maybe we'll make adjustments. Maybe we'll just send it.
The most anemic launch control I've ever heard.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't. It's not going to sound crazy. It's just like the car's not seeing something.
All right, so we actually couldn't get our launch control to properly peg up to the right RPM, and we have a parking brake fault and a ton of beeping. So hopefully we're gonna try and clear the parking brake fault and see if that brings our launch control back up. If it's got a fault in the ABS, the launch control very likely won't work.
It's very possible, yeah.
Control module, oh.
Oh no.
It's giving me faults for the airbag in the parking brake.
Maybe you can clear it and get one launch control out of it.
Maybe if I clear
One
it
cycle.
between,
I think that's what you're gonna have to try is when you get started, start it, clear it, and then pull up
don't
the
shut
line,
the car
don't
off.
shut the car off. We only tested launch control when before the interior was removed.
hand you this through the window.
Yep.
Just hold that. All in on brake. You got a broken car, man.
Yeah, broken car. Well,
Alright.
not working car.
Well,
Should we try and
Yeah.
at least like actually launch it?
so you're probably wondering why the heck that launch control didn't work. In order for launch control to work, the vehicle has to meet a number of parameters. Now this one, it's a little bit out there, but bear with me. When we removed the passenger front seat, we triggered an airbag light. Because the modules are so intertwined on this car, that airbag being disconnected set a fault in the ABS and for the parking brake. So if a car sees a fault in one of those hypercritical modules, not gonna let launch control work, which is pretty unfortunate because that was one of our huge advantages.
Okay, it's game time. It's time. Time for Charles to helmet up. See if he can actually make this thing happen.
I think what I found that helps is if I keep my sunglasses on.
Oh, I think if you look cool,
Do I look cooler
you
this way?
automatically win if you look cool.
All right, to the track. That's 2 out of 3. Let's see how we're going to go.
You ready?
You ready? This is gonna be a heads-up race. First one across the finish line wins. Bam! He got me. Yeah! What happened on that launch?
You slept at the light is what happens.
That was, what a race, dude. That was so fun.
That was wild.
Yeah, I like saw just out of the corner of my eye and I was like, I don't dare look over. What happened on that launch there, buddy?
Well, I think our transmission issues plagued at the start, but I'll tell you, that Civic is fast. I thought I was gonna catch him. He launched great. I didn't. He beat me.
Did it not go?
I let off the brake. I was all in on the throttle. It was like glug, 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 and then finally hooked and went. So how do we do?
13 flat almost. You got a better time than him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he got a great launch.
Dude, I can't believe how close that was.
So good.
That was sick, dude. I was down there and I was like, is that him? And I just like kind of like looked over and I was like, he's right there.
All right, so clearly that didn't go super well for us. Close race, that Civic is fast. I think our transmission slight uncomfortableness is what's plaguing, but if I can get a better launch and get ahead of them at all, I think I got it. Round 2. Good girl.
all right.
Where we win?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's no chance.
I thought we jumped the line.
No. Nope.
So what I did different this time, as soon as that the middle yellow bulb was on, I let off the brake and matted the throttle. You felt a little hesitation. Oh man, that was awesome. Oh, we might not have another one in us.
I missed the shift and I bogged on the launch and a bunch of suboptimal stuff happened.
You were a classic Honda driver, third gear, right?
Yeah, just trying to get it in. Let's go again, like ASAP.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed the time's slower, but clearly I won, so I'm much happier about that than not winning. But
and I think you launched in a way that was very strong.
I'll be honest though, I'm a little uneasy about a third one.
Really?
It's getting sadder as it goes.
The trans is getting sadder?
The transmission is getting sadder with each one.
Let's go again, dude. Like ASAP. let me check my tire pressures and let's just go again. All right, Charles.
Good race.
This one's for all the marbles.
This is all the marbles.
You have one, I have one.
Okay.
This is the last. This is it. Japanese or European domination.
More importantly, how are you feeling about the integrity of your car?
I think after this one it will break in half. So let's make this one count.
So we just need about 14 seconds of full in and we're good.
14.
We got that one in the bag, fellas. Woo! Now I'm pretty sure this S4 transmission is toast. Okay, we did it. 2 out of 3. They stomped us on the first run, came back for 2 in a row. No idea what the times are, but man, first of all, I've been sleeping on drag racing because that was way more fun than I expected it to be. Second of all, I love that we were close and that they won the first race and we came back and won 2 straight to take the championship of prizes of unspeakable value or whatever the heck it is that we're actually racing for.
Wait, hey, come back here.
Yeah, folks. Should have left it one race. Should have left it one race.
We knew we shouldn't have done best out of 3.
I think we should probably taken our advantage on that missed launch on you guys. That first run.
It was definitely an advantage we had that we took advantage of.
That's
at the
close
end.
though. I mean,
It
that's
was-
0.1 seconds.
I'm so excited that it was really tight race and the cars made it the whole way because the worst thing that would happen is blow up immediately. It's over.
What was that reaction?
Oh wow, you guys got it way down. 13.3.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what's up with our mile an hour?
13. It's way down. Maybe he blew up at the end.
We're down 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Talk about hairdo. Woo! Oh. Man, oh man. The transmission is very sad. Keep going, girl. Keep going. You should have just said 1 and done and called it.
Here you go.
Amazing. Let's see what the times.
This is the last one. So something happened at the end of his because he only trapped 95.
Good race, man.
Yeah.
Good race.
It was a good run.
What happened on the last run?
I keep missing third. Every time I see you ahead of me, I'm like, oh, I gotta get him, and then I just missed a gear.
That's the Honda thing, man. Yeah.
But I was reeling you in. When we were halfway down, I was just like,
He almost had you.
well, congratulations. Scientifically, Euro cars are better than Japanese cars.
I gotta say, all things considered, 2 cars that are that quick, under $5,000.
Yeah.
Well, 5 and 10.
10, sure.
We let you buy another car.
Yep. So
Should've done
really,
that.
this loss is on you.
Yeah, it's all our
We should have
fault.
only done 1 run, not 2 out of 3.
Yeah, we let you do 2 out of 3.
Nice, awesome job.
Good job.
Awesome job, guys.
Yeah, well-deserved win.
We did
Did
it.
it.
In 6 days, you made it happen. I don't know about y'all. I don't know if this car can still run some more, but I want to go and try and break into 12s because it can do it.
You run 12s, I'm gonna load this fine automobile on the trailer before it really goes.
All
We're
right.
gonna go push our luck.
And funny enough, push their luck is exactly what they did. They got a few more runs in on the Civic, and unfortunately, something that maybe is an axle broke on the car. This means we got to push it off the track, which is incredibly difficult given how sticky the track is.
Look at this.
You get legit stuck. Like you have to try to get out.
And then push it up on the trailer. While I'm not happy that it broke, I'm glad that happened after the race and not during.
Well, a victory. in the books.
We did it.
The S4 did pretty good considering its state last week. Paul's S4 was obviously quite a bit faster. Shockingly, the fastest car of the day running a 12 flat is my yellow Golf R, which blows my mind. Here's my takeaways. Incredible just couple weeks of getting 2 cars ready. A whole lot of fun. Their car,
It was pretty good for what it was.
All right, big thanks to the guys over at Gears and Gasoline for such an amazing series. It's always fun to get together with your buddies, do car stuff, and talk a little trash along the way. Also, big ups to Paul from SHOPDAP for deciding to make more bad life choices and join in on this project with me. And of course, Advanced Auto Parts for sponsoring this entire series. I gotta find an engine for the Jetta and fix the S4 transmission. And as we look ahead to season 2, maybe we'll do American cars this time. As always, links to everything are down in the description. With that, we are out. Have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you again next time.